live.
Hey.
Yo. Everybody here?
Yeah, we're all here.
Let's go.
Good afternoon. This is Moral Compass, baby. You got Javi. You got Mark the Tech.
What's up, guys?
Preacher Parker. And we got special guests in the building. We got Nate Trimm.
Hey.
He's a beast. He's the Larry Bird, Al Bundy of the cell phone industry
Larry
in
Bird,
Nate
Al
City.
Bundy.
I mean, in this area.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
He has several locations.
If I was old, I guess I could be that.
Orlando. Well, I'm gonna get into why you're Al Bundy.
Okay.
He has locations in Lakeland, Winter Haven, soon to be Haines City, Orlando, and basically this guy's from here, from Haines City, and he had a start just like us. It wasn't even though he's white on skin, he didn't get the white privilege card given to him. You know what I mean?
I had to earn the white privilege card.
He had to earn it back. He had to earn it. He had to earn it, and he definitely uses it to his advantage. So. But before we get into that, how was you guys' weekend? You had a good weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty good for me.
I know Mark said that he's not going back to Kobe's anymore.
Oh yeah.
He got drunk or something, and then his bill was $200.
Yeah. No, I'll go there again, but I'll try to look in the menu.
Yo, $200. Yo,
I didn't even look at the menu.
ours was $100. It was just me and my wife. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
I went to Burns last night, and one of my guys that was in my little party, man, he had a $600 tab.
Damn, bro.
Yo.
My tab was $240. I thought that would hurt my pockets.
Ah, damn, 600 by himself?
By himself. He got Wagyu beef. He got a 12-ounce steak, Wagyu beef, and it was like $300 and something.
Oh, man.
Damn, bro.
Who eating that?
Yeah.
So we got a bottle of wine. So that's what made my tab high. But every time you go there, you're gonna spend at least a couple hundred.
That sounds good. I'm gonna tell you about me though.
This guy.
Nah. Cause you know what? Honestly, I got disrespected yesterday. I got disrespected yesterday, right? I went to the outlets. I went to this place called Sundial Cafe.
All right.
My kids were like, Dad, I'm thirsty. It's hot. All this crazy stuff, right? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get you a drink. I said, hey, give me a Coke and a Powerade. Right? Yo, shit came out to $8. I know that's not nothing compared to what y'all spent. But yo, I was like, yo,
$8
for a can of Coke and a Gatorade. That's ridiculous.
That hurts the same.
Yo, instantly,
Can of Coke?
like instantly, my vision kind of like got like blurred.
Yeah.
I fucking got a headache and shit. I'm walking around like, and I couldn't shake it. I'm talking. We looking at clothes. I can't even look at clothes no more.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, yo, can you believe $8?
Yeah, because that should be like $3 at the most.
Bro, it's $1 and then $2.3. Okay, but
Exactly.
$5. Come on.
Yeah.
I know people gotta pay rent, but it is what it is, man.
A little ridiculous.
But that bothered me. But y'all had a good time. Glad to hear that. I spent time with the family.
Definitely, most definitely.
And, it was definitely better. I thought I was going to wake up thinking about that, and I didn't. So
Right.
Okay.
it is what it is, man.
Gotcha.
So now, listen. Over the weekend, Cardi B and Meg the Stallion came out with the video.
All right.
I know Mark seen it 56 times. Or
Nah.
Yeah, Mark 56?
And,
No, nah.
go
Actually,
for
I
60.
haven't really seen
Nah,
it
listen, nah.
too thoroughly,
He lying. He watched it.
thoroughly.
Because
Yeah.
one time I seen him walk in the bathroom with his phone. He's like, bro, they wilding.
Oh, man.
They wilding out here.
Nah. I was supposed to watch it.
No, I
But
just watched it today.
long?
I just watched it today
How long did
after
it
work
spend?
on my break.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. That's all I can say is wow.
it's like a Nicki Minaj video, basically. Is that what?
No, it's top 10.
Okay. So
It was up there.
I personally.
So it's double trouble.
It
I
was
personally
double
didn't
trouble.
like it. It was cool, but it was like, man.
Now, did you not like it because you was with your lady, or did you not like it by yourself?
Nah.
There's
I
a
didn't
difference.
like it so
There's a
because you know what it is.
difference.
Like to me,
that's true.
sexiness is like when you're thinking like, damn, like you want to see a little more. So it's like when you see everything and it's like,
Yeah, that's true though.
and you know it ain't fake and it's all right. It's like it just didn't do it for me.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Yeah, you gonna say some slick stuff right now.
Hey, you can just say it out loud, Nate.
Hold on. It'll go away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was
It's
talking
the
about
audio.
how good looking you were, man.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So, anyways, y'all got any other take on that? Besides, I know you can't even. YouTube even told Mark he can't watch that shit no more.
Nah.
So the question is, did you see that? Because there was no question. What's the take? What do you mean?
Like, what do you think about?
But I think
about it.
I think the whole concept of where women are now, masculinity and individualism, and just kind of the general where it's cool for women to be not really in the home taking care of the children and being the traditional woman. I think that to me is disappointing.
Right.
And my wife is stay-at-home mom, and she was a working woman until I took over and kind of just made that my role. Right. As far as the income and whatnot is concerned. And what I found is that my wife wouldn't have made enough money really to pay the daycare bill. And so it doesn't really justify. I mean, you could have paid a daycare bill, but the reality is what? After you go to work, you're killing yourself, then you got to come home, you're killing yourself, and you got to put dinner on the table, you go back to work the next day. The quality of life doesn't make sense. I would much prefer to go out there and find a way to make a couple $100 more a week than have her come out and struggle and then having to take the kids and have somebody else raise our children. Exactly. And then I think the other thing, too, is interesting with the Cardi B situation and why I like Doja Cat so much. I think Doja Cat brings back femininity in the hip-hop game.
Right, right.
Doja Cat is... I love Doja Cat.
Yeah,
I can tell. He said Doja Cat. He said a
no need to be stated.
Real smooth.
I'm going straight back to Doja Cat. Okay. But
you say you throw it back for Doja Cat.
so what I am gonna say though is I like Doja Cat. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah.
Cardi B and Meg the Stallion is nothing but the most recent version of Nicki Minaj. They are nothing more than that. They literally are just the same exact thing reincarnated into somebody who has a longer tongue than normal and more plastic surgery than normal. And then, Meg the Stallion is a little bit more hood, I would say, more traditional down south type vibe.
A newer hooder version. Yeah. Nah, for sure. Cause one thing about Nicki though, she always, not to try to compare them or anything, but she always kept it more, I don't want to say ladylike, but it definitely felt like that.
Ladylike.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, you can't.
Well, the thing is, she was always covered up. She was, she was always more covered up, and
I don't know. Them booty cheeks were clapping, so I don't know.
It was more covered up than these girls. Yo, these girls.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yo, Holly, I need to watch more Nicki Minaj videos.
Because the thing is,
Little Kim, maybe I don't know.
Maybe what I'm trying to say, she could change it up now. Cardi B could never come out with a conservative shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Nicki would come out with a song that's like a love conservative. I'm like, I'm feeling that. Where Cardi, you're expecting, all right.
Twerking.
Yeah.
She wilding out. She gonna do some.
But she was
crazy.
a stripper though. You expect
and listen, I don't even have a problem with that because guess what? She make that type of money. What I make, she killing it.
Yeah.
So what I look like saying something?
Nah. But
because think about it.
All you talking about is money right now, bro. Like, is that it?
In general, no. I'm saying in general.
You have a couple dollars in your pocket. So it's not like you know more than most people that money don't really mean a whole lot.
No, money is not everything. But when it comes to a woman saying, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I got the ring, with her I understand it because she making a lot of bread. She don't have to cook or have to clean.
Right.
The only issue lies when these girls come and then they say, I don't have to cook.
They gotta do
I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean, but I ain't bringing no money to the nothing either, and I ain't got nothing going on.
Yeah, I think you definitely got to bring to the table.
And I've been passed around, you know what I mean? I've been around everybody. You
been passed around?
Yeah, she's a stripper. She's been passed around.
Oh, I thought he said he got passed around.
No, I'm saying in general. Because now there's going to be a big issue. A lot of dudes, I'm not saying I have one, but a lot of dudes that have 2 and 3 pieces, now they're going to come through demanding more, thinking their value's up because of this type of video. And
this type of video is going to churn out young little girls. That's what it's going to do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All these young children out here watching these videos, looking up to these girls as role models, thinking that they ain't got to work no job, they ain't got to cook at home, they ain't got to clean. All they got to do is shake that ass, twerk a little bit, show a little bit of skin. They're going to get paid. You see it through Instagram, you see it through all kind of social media platforms.
How you gonna is when you're in that position? How you gonna tell them anything when they make a fan like a chick that's making fans only and she making more than us? She making 7 figures.
That's a whole different scenario though.
Yeah.
Because the fans only is only affecting her. Fans only doesn't affect anyone else. What she's doing is affecting all the kids and all those youngins that are watching and looking up to her. And I don't want to go back to '96 when we're talking about Tupac and Biggie the way that they did. I'm talking about what's happening right now in today's day and age, and you're talking about what you're doing to women in general. And in my opinion, again, I'm gonna go back to Doja Cat. She brought femininity back into the game, and that's why I think she's so hot right now. And she's gonna continue to be a star because she's cool with the femininity part. She doesn't have to be a man to rap, and that's what I noticed with the rest of these people. They're rapping men. They're like men with vaginas. That's what they are. Like, you know, with boobs.
Basically.
I mean, that's really how they act. What happened to the women back in the day that was reserved and just
Eve.
like respectful?
Eve used to rap
Eve,
good, bro.
Sierra,
You know what I'm saying?
Sierra,
used to do that too.
Aaliyah. What happened to all these people, man?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what happened, man.
I know Sierra did.
Ashanti.
Yeah.
Ashanti.
Ashanti, yeah. Aaliyah.
Alicia Keys.
Right.
But
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys still holding it down.
Yeah.
For all the
Alicia
females out there,
Keys.
Alicia Keys ain't never shook her ass once, and she still got fame.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys.
But the
Thank you.
times are different. Women adjust to the times.
Lauryn Hill.
Because back then, let me tell you something. When I was young,
Yeah.
when I was young and you went to school and you want to talk to a girl, man, you had to come with your best outfit.
Exactly.
You had to come with a smooth line, and you
Yup.
had to have a saying, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Can I tell you something? Hey, listen, I've been feeling you. I've been watching you for about 2 weeks now. I wrote you 5 letters. You know what I mean? I asked I asked all your friends about you. You know, you need to let me take you out. I got about $30. My dad will pick us up,
All right.
and we're gonna hang out." And it was like you had to step up to the game. You had to, it was that energy. Now I see a lot, like, you know, I see my cousin, he picking up chicks, and it's on Instagram,
Yeah.
Snapchat. It's the
all
way
through
you
an
pick
app
them up
now.
is different.
Yeah.
So they know I don't have to be this reserved in this because I'm not getting housed. I'm not feeling that energy because guess what? I'm gonna get with a broke boy or dude. The women don't believe in us no more because we not coming. We're not doing what we got to do. So guess what?
They not doing what they gotta do.
They not doing what they gotta do. But the
I'm
thing
doing-
is, they act how we
Hey.
treat them, how we make them act.
Here's how I look at that. You're gonna have 80-20 rule. What's the 80-20 rule? 80% of the people control 20% of the money. 20% of the
Exactly.
people control 80% of the money.
Say it.
And that's just what it is. But the fact is that, and I'm just gonna be real. In certain communities, it is incentivized by the government to have single parent households. If you're in a lower income community, and I tell you, hey, listen, if you don't have a man in the house and your income is lower, your household income is lower, I'm gonna give you food stamps. I'm gonna give you Section 8. I'm gonna give you housing assistance. I'm not housing assistance, but cash advances or cash assistance. Okay, that's incentivizing women to stay single and not have 2 parents in the household, and that's a big problem.
No, that's a whole different
Worldwide.
problem. That's a whole
No.
different problem.
It's not a whole different problem. It all correlates with this whole situation we're seeing right now with all these women and how it's happening. I'm just blessed, and look, what's happening is happening. I just telling you, I wasn't raised with 2 parents in the home at all times, and I never had my dad around. Right. And so I'm gonna tell you, as somebody who was raised in multiple different households, single, stepdad here, all the whole thing, and we'll get into that more, I'm assuming. It's different, and you have to look at kind of women as what they really are, right. Bro. They're special, and exactly. I think as men, when the women start stepping up and trying to be in that man category, they're not built the same way. They don't have the same genetics. They don't have the same hormones pumping through their body, at least the ones that I know. Yeah. And so we're both made. I hope so. Yeah. We're both made. We're all made to have the skills that are, we're all made differently, and women are precious, and they have to be dealt with in that fashion. And I think women in general are being so kind of, I don't know, they're just the way that they're being taught right now, and the way that they're being,
they're being glorified to be like stinks.
Yeah, basically.
The thing is,
that's cool. Like, that's cool.
Like, it's cool.
Women are in survival mode, and anyone that's in survival mode, you're gonna use the tools that you have. You see your man's stepping it up. Guess what? You gotta step it up, and hey, I got this. People down to pay for this. Got the kids. That's what you're gonna use.
But I'm saying you gotta blame their mamas and their grandmas. You gotta blame them.
No. It's a lot of people to blame, but indirectly, like when you're in that situation, blaming mama, blaming daddy, blaming whoever, that's not gonna get those bill pays. That's not gonna get that stuff happen. You know what's gonna happen? Okay, there's fans only. Okay, these dudes react to this, because I know a lot of dudes. Me myself, if I'm talking to someone, I'm feeling like a little you got me ready to wait 6 months to get some. All right, well listen, I'm moving out of here. I'm moving. You got 2 days to figure out if you're gonna throw it at me or what or not. Yeah.
So now you basically saying that guys are expecting to have it their way in one sense.
No,
so
I'm saying that women are adjusting to what men do. Bro, back in the day, man, we would do all kind of crazy stuff. When I was growing up, man, we walking the chick to school. We doing all this. I'm talking about we doing everything. I'm talking about I got $200 for Christmas. I'm giving it to her, hoping, damn, man, she gonna give me something off of this. Where now it's not like that. It's not like that. You don't have to do that. I know mad dudes. Guess what? When they see a chick or anything, they hit up all the chicks possible, and whatever sticks, they grab it because they're more accessible. And then, so now women are competing
with men, basically.
Yeah. And there's less us than them. And all the good guys, they're married. So now look, all the stragglers left over. They ain't got much to pick and choose from.
I can't personally blame females in one sense for wanting more, only because you look at the past. We look at the past and how women stayed at home. A lot of women felt like that's all I do is stay at home. All I do is cook. All I do is take care of kids. I want a chance to go out there and have that opportunity. They got the opportunity. Now you got the problem is that more women want more opportunity, and there's more men willing to stay at home. That's a problem to me, because there's a lot of men right now that's not willing to go out there and work a job now. They rather hustle the streets. They rather do whatever they can, and that's it. And they depend on that female. I know guys that depend on females to take care of everything, man.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. And,
his phone's ringing.
We're in the cell phone store, so we got hundreds of phones here.
We got fans out there.
So we got a custody.
Nate interrupted us, but it's fine. So listen.
It's his phone.
But it's on vibrate. So.
All right.
Well, that's funny though.
Oh yeah, I guess he wanted everybody to see his.
That's funny though.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, how you guys feel about housing the women like that? Like, would you guys be able to wife a woman that those are her strengths?
No.
I don't think so, bro. I mean, I think definitely you gotta respect yourself. You gotta definitely walk with a certain integrity. There's certain characteristics that I look at, and if I feel like you're not meeting that, it's not gonna work out. At least with me. So because I don't want my daughter going through that either. So if I feel like that's what you're living by, it's not gonna work. So
it's not gonna work for you.
Yeah, it's not gonna work for me.
I have 3 daughters.
Yeah,
and I'm blessed because the wife that I want is the wife that I got, and I ain't saying that because I'm on the podcast. I'm saying that because it's what it is.
Yeah,
our and hobbies know me. I've known Hobby how long? 16, 17 years.
As long as I've been here.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
and so I'll tell you, since day one, I've never been interested in any female who's challenged me as a man. If you think you can challenge me as a man, like for me, I'm good. I'll pass on that because it's not about my ego. It's not about none of that. It's about me personally. First of all, it's not about that. It's not just about challenging me as my woman. It's about challenging me as my friend, a male friend, or anything. We can have fun, enjoy ourselves, but when it's a constant battle inside your own household every single day about who's gonna say what we're gonna eat and what we're gonna do and who's gonna make the final straw, somebody's got to make that decision. And I feel like these women are the ones that are going to say, I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna do this. We ain't finna go there. I already know.
Yeah.
I ain't going to cook for nobody.
Yeah. I ain't going to cook for nobody.
I'm going to cook.
Like, so meanwhile, let me explain something to you. Every situation is different. It's not wrong for a woman to run the household if that's her role and that's her man's role and they fit and they link together and it makes sense. In my opinion, it's not traditional, but if it works, it works. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm simply saying is that at the beginning of a relationship, you need to set, this is what I expect, and this is what I expect you. And I want to hear from both parties. And luckily, me and my wife did that. And that's why we still working to this day, because she knows what I expect and it worked for her. And I know what she expects and it worked for me.
She definitely put her foot down. One time Nate was acting up. I remember they had a little separation. And, my boy was lost. He was...
How this was like a year in. Hey, she was pregnant.
Hey, my boy was sick. He was like...
Yeah, she got your baby, so you're gonna be sick.
I fucked up, bro. What is money? What is money with no family?
Trust me, I know.
No, but from there, something happened to him that things changed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So they
definitely got a good flow, and she helped them. She was a good woman. She definitely helped them get to a different level. I don't know how.
Yeah,
but no, I don't mean it like that. But what I mean is that definitely that whatever she did or whatever she's doing has helped them. Because before that, he was a little bit wild. Yeah. Because I remember before he was messing with a chick and
Oh no, we ain't going there.
She said
we're done.
She said, he got that mashed potato. He got that mashed potato. He didn't like it, so of course you gotta cut up. But anyways, we'll keep it going. Hey, but
my God.
So now that we into relationships right now.
Okay.
Now what if your chick's saying, listen, I'm good. You're like, yo, baby, I'm in the mood.
They can make it do what it do.
And she's like, no.
That happens.
I'm
that
good.
Does happen.
I'm
that
good.
Does happen.
Like, so what do you do to that? There's people that, what do you guys do?
Yeah. For me, honestly, I probably get a little upset. Like, damn, I really don't ask for much, but when I do, shoot, you're gonna turn me down. Okay.
Yeah.
So I might maybe, all right, baby, I'm gonna take a shower. You ready to take a shower? I want to take another one. Where's the little?
And I know Mark like to go to the car and shit. I like he gonna leave.
No.
fuck? Oh,
grab the car key. Why you need the car
not
key?
giving me nothing. I'm driving somewhere. You don't know.
I gotta take the trash out, baby.
He went to the drive-through, man. That's what he did.
But anyway, what about you guys? You know, what's going on?
Let me tell you something. It don't happen too much to me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go.
It don't happen too much to me, but I can't handle it because automatically, if you say no, I'm gonna give you a chance to like act like I ain't heard them. You know, like what you need? You need a foot rub?
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, okay. Because
Okay.
when I hear no, I think that means like, well, I need something else before that.
Okay.
So then I'm like, oh, what's up? You need a foot rub? You need me to go? You need me to go to the store or something?
Yeah. What's causing this now?
You want me to put some music? I'll sing a song. What's up?
Sing a song.
Then I make sure I do whatever.
Too damn much.
I'm like, yo, I just took a shower, fresh shower. Yo, put that cologne you like, all that.
Okay.
So now
You gonna have an asthma attack?
no. Because then next, if I get another no, instantly I'm like, oh, you playing hard to get? You just want me to just do what I do? You just want me to just
attack?
Nah, they be like, no, this for us, no.
Hey, this where marital rape comes in.
So nah.
They're talking about.
Oh man.
Nah, because guess what? I ain't forcing nothing. Once we at that point,
No, he already committed to like. Wait. Is she being serious or is she playing?
So now when I know it's a no, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch TV. I do two things.
Yeah.
I say I'm gonna watch TV in the living room, and don't talk to you.
Okay.
Or I'm like, yo, I don't think this shit gonna work out.
You do the lip like that?
I do, yeah. I'm like, yo, this shit. Honestly, there's problems here. I can't fuck with this.
Okay.
I can't fuck with this. I'm packing my shit tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not what I signed up for.
Yeah,
dramatic.
yo, what's going on?
All right.
What's up with that?
I feel like I gotta negotiate. That's my deal. I'm like, yo, man, all right. You don't want it all the time. That's fair. But damn, 3 to 4 days a week is not a bad deal. And, one time I talked to my wife. I told her, we do it all the time. She actually set up a calendar and started putting dots to let me know that I was actually getting something. I'm like, yo, for real?
Okay.
I was like, damn, I'll give you 1 week off a month. Oh, shoot, man, yo, that didn't work out too well.
Hey, ain't that your sister?
Huh?
Ain't that your sister?
No.
They're married to sisters.
Yeah, that's
They're
my
married
girl.
the Avila sisters.
Yeah.
Wait, yo, they're good women, very strong personalities. And let me tell you something, they run the type shit.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, because boy, when Joanna wants Mark to go home, that's it. He there. Oh, bro, she said I gotta be home by 7:15. And I'm like, no, Mark, we're busy. He's like, no, fuck this job. Fuck this shit. And I'm tired of your shit too, man.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Nah, for real. I'm telling you.
No, not at all.
I definitely applaud the Avila sisters because, y'all do not play. Your mans, both of them, when they see something suspicious, like, we talking about getting a girl in the show, and both of them were like, hell nah.
Oh,
if you get a girl in this show, fuck this show.
Nah, you crazy.
I was like,
we gotta have rules. We gotta set boundaries.
Respectable, because all these sisters live around each other. So they can talk to each other.
That's what I'm saying. That's
a big problem.
They hold that shit down.
And they go to their mamas and their daddies.
They need to come out. They need to come out with a video training how to train their mans. But anyways, Nate, how is it at your house? When your old lady, does she ever say no? If she do say no, I already know. Nate, he throws a hissy fit. I can tell this. He gets red. He fucking gets red, and he starts naming out shit. Oh, I got you this purse. I got you this Tesla.
Here's the thing.
You gonna do that to me?
This is invasive.
I fucking emailed you 3 weeks ago.
So here's the deal, right? We don't really have those problems, But I'll say this.
But she say no.
We had this conversation, and you have to be on the same page, right? So let's assume she says no. I think it depends on the scenario. It depends on where I'm at and how I'm feeling. And if I'm like, I'm dead set on, missions got to be accomplished. You know what I mean? We're going into war tonight. Well, in that scenario, I'm just gonna start bribing her.
Like raising the price. Cause she's like, I'm tired warming it up for 30 minutes. Why does it take so long to kickstart that motherfucker?
Nah, I'm gonna just bribe her. I'm just gonna bribe her and be like, listen, all right, here's what we're gonna do.
You better take a viagra.
We're gonna go out to eat dinner. We're gonna go out to dinner tomorrow night.
I'm not gonna do it natural no more.
We're gonna go out to dinner tomorrow night on me. Don't worry about it. I just start saying stuff like that, and then she'll be like, "Hey, still you doing it?" And be like, "All right, never mind." And then I'll be like, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on vacation this weekend.
Smart.
And then
set the mood.
That's why Nate been going on vacation lately.
I be going on vacation all the time now. All of a sudden.
Okay, I'm not giving it to you unless it's a different high place.
Matter of fact, we're going to Daytona on Wednesday to spend the rest of the weekend Wednesday. But you know what? Know why I'm going on Daytona is because we only live once, man.
For sure.
And we all, working so hard all this time. It's time that you gotta be able to live in the moment and just appreciate every second you have. And I think we work so hard, killing ourselves for however long. I know Javi's been hustling for a long time, and I don't really know, my man
I'm
here that much, but
I'm personally tired of that shit. I'm giving it about 2 more years. If it don't work out, I'm just gonna get a job.
Well, it's working out. It's working out.
But fuck that shit, man. I'm tired of wrestling with these customers over $5 chargers.
That's why I'm getting into the accounting firm. I got an accounting firm we're opening up on October 1st because I really don't want to deal with that no more.
What's up?
So nice. I'm trying to help my team grow. I think that's a big thing. Like, help your team grow. That's what's J. Cole said. What's getting rich if your team ain't eating. I don't know exact verbiage off the top of my head, but he literally said that. Like, how are you gonna sit here and act like you're gonna eating, but your team's starving? Yep. Yeah. And so that's one of the biggest things in my life is like helping my team eat.
For sure. And let me tell you something. This guy is a master at having his team believe in him. Let me tell you something. I seen this guy have Mexicans just reconstruct their whole visual to look just like him. That's how much they believe in him. He knows this because I have told him. I'm like, bro, you making your people look like you and shit?
Oh, man.
Bro, not only that, bro, because I observe. I'm the type of dude that when I'm in a situation, I'm watching, and I'm not, I'm not necessarily, I'm not gonna say nothing at that time. But let me tell you something. I went to this man's house. I went to this man's house. I seen his employees there. Bro, one dude was cleaning the bathroom. One dude was doing his laundry. I'm like, how you make people listen to you off the clock? Off the clock? My people, let me tell you something. The people I work with, when I'm off the clock, they don't even text me back. When I call them, they ask me what the fuck I want. For real. Damn. I'm like, it's not about work. Oh, then why you calling me? Yeah. Like, for real, I'll see you Monday at 10 o'clock. Yeah. Click. Like, for real.
Because you got a reputation of firing people, right? So they like...
I'm super lenient, and that's the difference between me and him. He's super strict, and I'm too lenient, and then that's why our businesses went different ways. Not that I believe we're both doing good. I don't necessarily know the trajectories. Our methods are different. He's very operational, runs a strict household. And then before we get into that, when it came time to clean the grill, he had his employees fighting each other over it. I'm gonna clean it. No, I'm gonna clean it. No, well, guess what? I'm freaking wipe down all the screen protectors on Monday. What you gonna do? Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna vacuum before you. And I'm a vacuum with my hand.
That'd be crazy, bro.
I'm a hand plug the
Listen.
So then I admired that because I'm like, I'm fighting to get my people to do what I need them to do.
Man, Mark up here slaving for you.
No, Mark. Yeah, but Mark is a. He's partner.
One good slave.
He's a partner. No. He is a partner. He's a good partner.
He is.
So he runs a different role.
Okay, fair enough. All my people on my team are partners, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I see that they must be. I'm like, let me
explain because if they see this and they're gonna be at my throat.
Yeah.
I want to explain something to you. It's very, very, very important. Every person on my team is extremely important, and they all are invaluable. Period.
Awesome.
Now they're all replaceable, so let's not get that twisted. But I don't want to replace any of them ever. Yeah. Like, if you get replaced, you really did something wrong.
Exactly.
And because y'all family to me, it's like getting rid of my siblings. I would never do that, And so I think, especially once you've been with me for 6 months plus, I feel like we're family, And so that's why whenever you come to my parties, you notice what he just said. When you come to my parties, guess what?
You get to clean his clothes.
My team is there, because they're my family.
Right.
And so I invite them because that's how I feel about them. And so, there's a fine line between work and but I think the reality is that at some point though, they start to gain a respect for you because it's authentic and is real. And that's I think when it's organic, they start to appreciate you and they want to see you grow because it helps them grow. And because they see your growth, and they've seen that same growth in their own lives. And I can name numerous people in my staff right now that turn their vibrators on whenever we're doing podcasts and stuff. But I can tell you, there's numerous.
People using vibrators, right?
The vibrations on their phone.
I'm gonna actually turn off.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So my point is that I think if you treat your staff the same way you treat Mark, I think that they end up staying around and they appreciate it and they really feel like partners and they really feel like that they what they're doing is bigger than just themselves, or and the thing is, I can tell you from people that's left me in the past, and my way I used to do business and how I treated them like they were expendable. And I think that was a tell in the turnover that I had and in my quality of life, because it affects my quality of life. If they're doing bad, I'm doing bad. And that's real. If you come to me and you need something, I'm gonna take care of you. And that's the difference. Is I think that people don't understand that. My goal is not just to have a staff to just work for me and just make me eat. My goal is to teach them how to have their own. I'm not trying to teach you. I'm not trying to take you to the water. I'm trying to teach you how to hunt. I'm trying to teach you how to fish. Hey. I'm trying to teach no matter what happens in your life. If you leave me, guess what? I hope you stay. I hope we do something together. Ricky Verduzco came on my staff 4.5 years ago. We just became partners in an accounting firm. We're 300% the number we expected to be in 2 months from now. And so talk about killing it. Talking about, one guy working his ass off and putting the work in. I mean, here's a perfect example. He's like a brother to me. Chris Barajas. Another perfect example. Guy in the military, was lost in the sauce. Man didn't know where to go, up, down, left, to right. Had brotherhood his whole life, and he's he comes in the civilian world. He don't know where to go, what to do, and you see where he's at now. He just bought a house. He got a family, he got a wife, he got a child. Everybody's good. I mean, my man's doing it, and he's going to be a partner at some point in the future. He sacrifices for me because he believes in me. And so I'm just saying, those are just two people, perfect examples of people who sacrifices for the team. And if it's team first, like my man Mark is right here, I know he's a team first. If it's team first, you're gonna eat. Yeah. If you got the right operators behind it.
Well, don't give him too much credit. don't do that. He's honestly, sometimes he's raggedy.
Hey, but you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Yeah. Hey, why do my team believe in me? The same reason why they believe in me. The same reason why you listened to me for the last 8 minutes.
I don't know. I understand that. So listen. So
I got it.
So how do you feel flattered when they come in and they had a full head of hair? They had this. Now all of a sudden they look like you. Cut the hair off.
It doesn't happen.
I seen it.
No, that's because he had cancer.
Oh man, that's serious.
Now he got to bring it into the area.
No, but that's real. He had cancer and he had to go bald, and now you're trying to make fun of him.
No, I am not.
You're wrong for that.
No. Yeah. He's trying to flip it over.
You're wrong for that.
This is not the.
I hope he's good though.
So listen,
wrong for that,
so we listen.
He is good. Matter of fact, now that we're going to talk about him, he's very good.
That's good.
And you know what? He's got a family too. And Javi knows him, and he said next time he sees Javi, he's gonna smack him.
Hey, man. I'm here every day. All right. So listen. So, anyways, that's good. We're glad to know he's doing good. Exactly. We're glad to know he's doing good.
I could talk about him too if we want. We can talk about him too. He's another example.
Let's do it.
He's another example of my team that has gone and done more because that's what they want to do. And I think if you're gonna be a real business person and not just a person that just makes money off people, a slave driver. Because that's what I think most people are in business now, especially the old school people. They're slave drivers. In 2020 and beyond, bro, these people aren't your employees. They're your friends. They're your confidants. They're your partners. And I think Javi knows this just as much probably as anybody that as a business owner, bro, you're not just as an employer. You're not just somebody who pays and drops a check. You're a psychiatrist. Right. You're a family. You're helping with family matters a lot of times. You're helping with children and how they raise their children. And that's why it's so important to have Javi on the team because, and not just my team, because Javi, I would consider Javi to be on my team because I can tell you a story about one time I got a call about 2:00 in the morning from my boy Javi, and he told me, "Hey man, I appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm not gonna go into that story.
You can't. Hey, with me, there's nothing. I never.
We can't go into that story because it's not been 10 years. We gotta wait 10 years.
Okay.
We gotta wait past the statute of limitations.
What you talking about? Like when I got in a car accident?
I don't know nothing about nothing. Listen, see. No, but I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna wait. We got like another 3 years. We got 3.5 years, 4 years. Then we can talk about it. I don't want to talk about it in this open platform because I'm not gonna be the guy that messes you up. But I guarantee it's still open case on that. To this day, I guarantee you. And so having said that, I don't know for sure, but I would assume. My point is that I look out for my team. I treat them like family. And I think that's the most important part. If you're going to have a team, you have to understand that their problems are now your problems.
Yep,
now,
that's true.
And that's why when you hire people, you got to really dive deep into where they're at in their lives because do you want to take on that headache? I'm looking at your family. I'm looking at your kids. I'm looking at everything about you. And I want to know, like, what are you really about? What makes you tick? if you tick the same thing that makes me tick, then most likely we're gonna be fine. And by the way, I've hired people that I know ain't never been in a cell phone game, never been in a sales game ever, but because of the person that they were on the inside and my ability to judge your character on a fast, we've been able to keep really good staff on board, like Mark. And I'm not boosting his head up, but Mark is a very good employee.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
It's Mark the Beast. I mean, the tech.
Thanks,
Partner, excuse me.
Nah, appreciate it.
I ain't gonna come tomorrow try to talk about numbers and shit.
Nah,
hey, you heard what they said.
Nah,
you heard what they said.
I'm straight.
Hey, so
I just treat I treat my customers like they were my own. You know?
You definitely go 100%.
You should just vacuum the floor a little bit more. But other than that,
yeah.
He's the tech, not the
We're working
cleaner.
on that.
And turn off that candle for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no. So listen, let's get into now that this episode is really about Nate. Since, like I said, he's a local leader here. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit what I thought when I first met him. And when I first met him, we was in high school. All right, I'm gonna paint the picture for you. He wasn't the ideal. He wasn't the person that you see today.
Okay.
And that's major because a lot of people, they think that things are impossible because they don't look like what they want to be. You know what I mean? And definitely Nate wasn't that. When I met Nate, we was in high school. And I knew something was up because the first time he came up to talk to me, he's trying to buy clothes. I was like, yo, is this dude a teacher or something? Like, yo, you got to be 30 years old, man. What you doing here? So then he's like, hey, can you meet me and stuff? And I'm like, I brushed him off in the beginning. I'm talking about like, he's like, yo, I want to buy some shirts and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll call you back. And at the time, he had a different energy than he does now. Nate has definitely a trustworthy energy. But back then, it was kind of snaky. It was like, man, I don't know. I get a weird feeling when I fuck with you. And I was right. Let me tell you, this dude was raggedy. Cause yo, so I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Hey, he ain't even lying. I'm gonna give him this because it's true. I'm gonna tell you if he's lying though, but most likely he's not lying.
This is 100% truth. So then I meet him through my boy Alex, which was a scammer, but I fucked with him. Like, we were friends. You know, he was a hustler. He didn't have a lot of avenues, so he did what he had to do.
But he fucked with him, but he didn't fuck with me. And this was the biggest scam artist there was.
But I'm gonna tell you why I didn't fuck with Nate and I chose to fuck with Alex.
Because he was a genuine.
He was an upfront scammer. He told you what he was.
He let me know up front he was scamming, which let me tell you, they got me quickly after.
Okay.
So then and then with Alex, like, you know, with Nate, he was like a lot bigger, and I was like, I don't know. Then he talked to Alex, was very soft spoken. Like, you knew, like, this dude was more scared than me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so then the first interaction comes. This guy, Nate and Alex, they come to tell me, oh, yo, we got these weed pills.
Right.
Called Marinol. Yo, we're high as fuck right now. Cause at the time I worked at the mall, right?
Oh,
so
man.
I'm dabbling, like, I'm young, I'm a hustler. I'm selling clothes, whatever. Yes. You know, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing everything.
Javi used to be fly in high school, though, man. Yeah. Javi was the best dresser in high school, period. I'm going to tell you right now.
Although we had some pics to post up.
And I definitely lost my swag along the way. But, so I'm working at the mall, right?
None of it was official.
Yeah.
But
it looked fly.
But everybody didn't know. Nobody knew that. And nobody cared.
Everybody knew it wasn't official, but it didn't matter because I had 100 pairs of unofficial and you had 2 pairs of official. It still didn't move.
That's real. That's real.
But it didn't. Anyways, I don't want to brag about that. You know what I mean? Because it's nothing to brag about.
So you were a billboard, basically, for the kids.
But listen, so then I'm in the mall, right? So they come tell me, man, we got this Marinol. We know you can push it. I'm high as fuck right now. Him, Alex, and Alex's uncle, they acting like they're high. I'm like, for real?
Buck.
Yeah, Buck.
AKA Alex's stepdad.
Yes, his uncle and his stepdad. So that was another this crazy ass stuff.
That was crazy.
So then they're like, oh man, we high as hell. Bro, you should sell them and give it to you for like $3 or something, $5. I'm like, nah. I was like, I just mess with regular weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
He's like, look it up. He's like, Google it. It's weed pill. It's the new shit. So I'm like,
oh, shit.
So I'm so dumb. I'm like, oh, you can sell it for $10. I was like, yo, fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
$10.
So they
How many pills do we have?
Yo, I don't know. It's like 100. So let me tell you how grimy they are. So then I sell them to the people. I'm talking about I'm serving. In the mall, in one weekend, they're gone. Oh, I'm selling them for 10, 15, 20, all that kind of crazy
They all come back.
Yo, everybody came back talking about, bro, I'm not getting high. I'm like, what you mean not getting high?
It's a mental high.
So I called him up. I called this dude up. Hey, the fuck you told me, man?
Yeah, these pills ain't working.
Yo, he's like, oh, are they taking it right? I'm like, taking it right? So I'm so dumb. I'm like, let me call you back. I'm like, yo, he said if you took it right. He said you put it with your mouth, right? So then I call Nate back.
You gotta snort them liquid tablets.
So then I'm like, yo, yeah, they taking it right. What they gotta do? Just take it. What the fuck is not? It's not rocket science. What the fuck is this? He's like, but did they eat?
Did they eat before they took it?
I'm like, hold on. Yo, did you eat? He's like, what the fuck does that mean? So when I find out they got me, I was like, all right, cool. I ain't fucking with them no more.
I can't right now, bro.
Yo. So then, look up the pill, Marinol. It is marijuana, but it's no THC.
Oh wow!
It's not even. It's not even the other shit. What's the other shit? That
CBD. It's no
not
CBD.
even CBD.
Oh,
it's like brown. It's like brown liquid. Like it's just.
extract.
It's just like the wood part, like stem, like melted stem, bro.
Oh.
There's nothing in it. I don't know what it is.
Damn.
They better stop making it.
So what happened?
So people got mad, and I let people know I took an L that day.
Yeah.
Because my name at the time, I'm like, I'm not gonna make myself look bad over a couple bucks. So I was like, don't worry, I got you. But how I did it was I don't got the money, but when you buy kicks or something, I'll give it to you off whatever. So I still ended up winning at the time. But I was like, all right, I'm watching out for these motherfuckers.
so hey, hold on, go ahead. I'm gonna tell a story though, since you're telling us stories.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell one more because this is all for you to understand the man Nate.
So hold on, so I called Javi up and I'm like,
Javi,
I'm like, listen, we squared up the little Marinol pill thing, you know. Okay. And to be honest with you, that was like, that was only partially mine. To be honest with you, the hustle, because he blames it on me, but really, it was a lot of it was Alex too. And so
I equally blame all three of them. I knew they all was right.
But here's my thought process on it though. I never took one, so I didn't know.
Okay.
But he told me he was high. He's like, bro, I'm high right now.
I did do that.
You gotta sell,
Listen, I don't know for sure if I did that, but I probably did.
I remember that because that's what sold it.
Okay.
Oh, see, there you go. See, I'm good then.
My homie, he's doing it. That's what he said.
So let me tell you, and so Javi, so we link. So Javi, I knew he felt that way about me because I was a bigger guy. I mean, I've always been. I'm a big guy now. You gotta think I'm 295 pounds. Back then I was 235. Like I was just big. You know what I mean? Just naturally a big dude. And so and I played football and everything like that, So anyways, Javi hits me up and he's like, I hit Javi up. I'm like, Javi, this is right after the little pill thing, probably a couple weeks. And I'm trying to go to the club because back then I was big in the club and stuff, and I was probably only like 17, but I didn't care. I was getting in the club for $20. You know how it goes.
Damn.
And so
he was 18, but he looked like he was 37.
Hey, whatever you say. So, anyways, I got in the club, right? And so I call Javi. I'm like, Javi, listen, I need to get some kicks, because I used to get the fake all whites,
right?
Because you go to the club with some all whites and you're the cleanest one there. And so how I look at it was, you don't know if they're fake or not, and by the time I leave, they're gonna be black anyways, because you're gonna be stepping on my feet. You ever go to the club with some real Air Forces, bro, with some all whites?
Dirty.
You're so mad.
Yeah. Dirty.
You're ready to fight everybody.
Skateboards and
every time, everything. So I would just go get them from Hobby for like, I don't know, $27 or whatever it was. And so, I could go to the club for 4 times for the amount of money, I was spending on that. I just throw them out every time, or wear them a couple more times. Hopefully they're a little bit clean. Point being, Hobby wouldn't meet me.
Oh, man.
Hobby wanted to meet me in the Publix parking lot.
I'm going to tell you why.
Hey, he wanted to meet me in the Publix parking lot.
Listen, I'm meeting people at the time. I got stuff going on. I'm dressing up.
Don't even let him go. All right, go ahead.
At the time, I'm dressing up everybody. Plus, I got all the barbershops fucking with me. I'm selling at the mall. So then I want to make sure it's worth it. Plus, he gave me a weird vibe.
That's really what it was.
So I'm like, what you looking for? Because at the time my inventory was huge.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, just bring me everything that you have.
I did say that.
I said, bro, I'm not bringing everything I have. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
And I was like, and then we ended up meeting, and then he made me feel weird. He's like, well, is this all you have? Well, take out more. I'm like, how much you spending?
Yeah.
How much? What we doing here? So that went out okay. But then the next incident where I ran into Nate, he was dead to me.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you what happened, bro.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna tell you what happened, bro.
Hey, listen, all I'm gonna say before it starts is that I'm a changed man.
No, he is, bro. This is no attack on his personality, bro. This is all old. I wouldn't if I thought
I was in my like mid-teens, late teens.
Yo, if I felt he was no good, he wouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even talk to anyone I don't have respect for. You know what I mean? This is sacred area, and I gotta fuck with you for you to be here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And but at the time, so I'm getting a haircut, right? This dude, he's mad at me, Joe. Damn, I said his name.
Oh,
I didn't mean to say his name.
I know.
Hey, Joe Dirt.
So anyways, forget about that. So I'm cool with the dude now though. Okay. But anyways, we at the spot. He got a clothing joint at the time.
Oh,
I'm getting a haircut, right? So then his girl's like, yo, you selling clothes on my spot again? All right, well, guess what? Give me anything you got in your car, or there's a problem. I said, listen, I'm getting a cut. I ain't selling nothing out this spot.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh yeah.
Oh my god. She told me this story.
I'm in high school, so I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yo. I'm scared. I'm like,
what?
What's going on? Like,
I'm like, hold up.
I tried to help him.
Yeah.
Yo, nah, he ain't trying to help me. So listen. So I run to the barbershop because at the time the dude that's there, he's like family to me.
Yeah.
So I'm running. All I see is that girl's man's running at me.
Damn.
Pop! Drop kick me in my nose.
Wow.
Did he really?
I start bleeding. I'm like, yo,
that.
what are you doing? And then she's like, oh my God, what you did? I'm like, what's going on here? They called the cops on me. So then he gets scared. I'm like, yo. I was like, he found out I was 17.
Yeah.
He was like, oh shit. And then I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, because I'm new to the area. Like, I've been here for about a year. So I'm like, this dude kicked me for no reason. His girl told me.
Yeah.
Like I'm shook. Because like I said, at the time I'm dabbling with a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
So the man coming is not necessarily the best thing for me at the time.
Wow.
So then I'm like, yo. So he's like, yo, wipe your face. So then,
I ain't gonna kick you and
Yeah.
wipe your face.
because the cops would come in and they were gonna take him because I didn't do nothing to him.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what was going on through my mind. So then Nate's talking to him and he's like, yo, listen, bro, if he's selling stuff and you need to just take all his shit or call the cops on him.
Yeah.
Just take all his shit. So then I'm scared. I'm going along with it. So I get a duffel bag. I'm getting started bringing like one bag in. I'm like, yo, fuck that shit. It's for the birds. They try me. Run into car.
Yeah.
And fucking skirt. I fucking skirt. So from there, I was like, yo, I ain't fucking with it. And I told Alex that.
Yeah.
And I told Lewis, which was our homeboy.
So you went to the car but you just drove off?
No, he brought the clothes out.
Okay.
I brought some, so I took an L that day.
Yeah.
But I remember I told Pucho, which was the barber at the time, and he was like, yo, I'm fucking out here. I'm fucking him up.
Yeah.
And then I told my people, Sam, and he was like, yo, I'm going over there tomorrow. We checking on him. We checking on him.
Yeah.
So we ended up straightening it out because he came and talked to me. He's like, yo, this right here, we need to think of a number that's going to make it even. And I'm not going to lie, he looked out for me. Okay. And that number came out.
That's cool.
It wasn't really enough. I was dropping it.
Yeah.
But
you were just trying to get your stuff back, basically.
It is what it is. But
you know, at the end of the day, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago with different people.
And keep in mind, though, me and Javi wasn't not best friends. And that dude that he was talking about, me and him chilled every day. And so, and to tell the story the way it was, Javi.
Well, it was the way I said it.
Javi, but there was. Yeah, you're right.
Different points of view.
No, he's right though. It was the way he said it. But to add a perspective, he was not. He was at the barbershop, and Joe had owned. Oh man, he said the name already, so it doesn't matter. He owned a clothing store doing the same thing that Javi did, and so when he was selling, in Javi was selling or in that area, in his territory, and so that was where the whole thing got where it was. And so again, I really joked. Javi wasn't my friend at the time. I barely even knew him. I mean, we did a couple transactions that didn't turn out in his favor, but man, I was trying to hustle people. I wasn't trying to. I didn't care about him. My job was not to care about exactly right. And that's how it was here in Haines City. That's how it is.
It was just surviving. That's why I didn't really take it too personal.
Yeah.
And later on, we became friends. And like I said, when I say this, it's not to throw dirt on this person's name or to make them look bad. It was just what the scenario was.
What happened.
What happens and how things were at that time. And a lot of people could relate because at that time, Haines City was straight savagery.
Super savage.
Like, yo, you were getting got anywhere, anything. Like,
every
at
time.
the time, people were like, yo, you can't even go to Oakland. Like,
bro, I got robbed behind a Jamaican restaurant. Got kidnapped.
Wow.
Right?
What?
Got a gun put in the back of my... Bro,
that's crazy.
He'll tell you.
Yeah.
I got robbed at gunpoint. They put the pistol in the back of my head, pistol whipped me, kicked me in my face, messed up my whole thing, dislocated my jaw, kidnapped me, took me behind Publix, cut me loose, took my boy over to Orange Grove, bust his whole head open. Mike, Jamaican restaurant Mike.
Yeah.
Mike Lazarus.
Caribbean Cafe. Which if you live in Haines City, you definitely got to check it out.
They bust his head open, everything leaking everywhere. I stole my mom's car, went to go try to get him. Like, I'm talking about and I was 17, 16. I was a kid. And listen, that's how we lived though. That's here in Haines City, that's how we live.
You wouldn't think this small town was like that, but man,
that's how we live.
Everybody got caught. One time they got Eric, they robbed him. gunpoint a couple times.
But they messed him up bad.
They messed him up bad. You talking a lot of shit.
Stole his chain. But Eric was loudmouth, cocky dude. He deserved kind of, I'm not saying he deserved it. I'm just saying that
but if you talk,
he was an easy target. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. No disrespect to him, but I'm just saying, he was the type of guy where if you robbed him, it wasn't nobody out there going, oh man, he got robbed. Yeah, that sucks. It was kind of like,
I can see that. I can see that. Well, that's another.
Either way, Eric. It was messed up how he got robbed. It was messed up. He was in the hospital and everything.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. And then he was in my car when they got him, and then my car got stolen.
Damn.
And then, then my car, my trunk would never close properly again.
Oh, man.
I'm talking about never close again.
You call this Haines City stories.
Bro, we got way more than that, bro. Yeah. That's nothing. We got some that I don't even feel comfortable telling.
No, for sure. That way you can see what kind of people we're, because you know what it is, man. When we do this podcast, I know we don't talk about a lot. We get a little silly, but it's to really let people know in the community that, hey, even though your situation isn't ideal, you can still win. You can still look at this man right here. Matter of fact, we'll get into it. He's from Haines City, came from broken family, and everybody got all the excuses in the world. This man definitely got them. Like I know when he was young, his dad was in life. Then he had a stepdad, and his stepdad was in the KKK, right?
Yeah, my first stepdad was in the KKK.
So imagine what kind of manipulation, crazy stuff.
And I thought he was my dad until I was like 11.
Wow.
So imagine, if he's your dad, you dying for your pops. You love him. Exactly. He's your first hero. So imagine that poison that maybe was fed. I'm not trying to say he fed you. No. But when you hear those things, you think, okay, this is the type of things he's saying. So how was that?
It was normal to me because it's all I knew, really. I didn't have air conditioning the whole time either. We didn't have AC in my house. I lived in Florida. I've been in Florida my whole life. We didn't have air conditioning. So if you had air conditioning and you're complaining, you ain't got nothing to complain about.
Oh, that's crazy.
We had a box fan in the window. That's what we had for AC.
That's crazy.
So by the way, he had a window unit in his room though. Wow. I'm just saying it shows you how selfish some people are. But my reality is that it was normal for us, and the way that we were treated. See, the thing is that he was from Kentucky, and so that's real up there. It's not like it is even in Florida. That's some Kentucky's like down south, even though it's more north than here. It's like south. Like there was some people mad about slave trade going down back then, and it's still. And his family is the old school family where they still got property like hundreds of acres, like old money. You know what I mean? So that old terminology, that old white terminology back in the day, slave trade and stuff, that was really how he was. And so, we couldn't watch Martin because he was black. We couldn't watch basketball because that's an end sport, if you will.
I know you're talking
about. And so it was rough. We got beat. We didn't get no spankings with no hand. We got straight belt, period. And that was a good one. We got kicked, slapped, backhand, bloody nose, the whole thing. That was it. I'm talking about, when I say kicked, I'm talking about 4 years old, 5 years old, getting kicked off the ground, like in the air. And then getting kicked numerous times on your way, trying to run to the room. Just trying to run to the room because he said, go to your room, and you didn't move fast enough. And then boom, off the ground, boom again, face first in the carpet. That's how I grew up. And so, having said that, a lot of people don't know that. But that's how it was like being raised for somebody who have so much hate. If you can have that much hate for another group of people for no reason.
How can you do that to your own children? That's my problem.
It's not. I'm not his child. See, there you go. Yeah, the reality is that he cared more about what was happening that night with my mom than he cared about ever cared about what I had going on. You know what I mean? He was just trying to get what he needed. And my mom was so naive to what it was that she just let it happen. Keep in mind, my mom had me when she was 19 years old.
Right.
She had my brother when she was 17. And so, different dads. And so that's how that went down. But yeah, that was just kind of what it was.
So. And then for the crazy thing is, she go from that, and then you said she remarried, and then she remarried a black dude, right?
Correct. Yeah. So she got married to a black man,
which is polar opposites. Yeah. So imagine the type of men that are in the house.
That's mental. That's a mental change too, because you just.
And now you got
like a 360.
Well, now how does that go through a young man's mind?
So I'm gonna tell you this though. Never was I ever racist. Still to this day, I've never been racist, and I'm gonna tell you, even when I was raised in that environment, we didn't understand that mentality of, oh, he's black, we can't watch this, we can't do that, we can't, we watched what we wanted to watch when he wasn't around. I'm not gonna lie to you, we loved Martin was our show. We couldn't watch basketball too much because that was kind of like little different, but. Right. But my point is that when she moved on and I was bounced around, my mom kind of just did her own thing. I moved in with my grandma for a little bit, blah blah blah. We moved probably like 8-10 times in a couple year period. My mom got with this guy. His name was Rick, good dude, black guy, and he was a good guy though. He a big change in regards to aggression and abusiveness and all that type of stuff, which is, we were used to that. We didn't know any different. Still to the, I didn't know that was not normal until I was in my early 20s probably. Wow. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting because when my mom got with Rick, there was so much love given, from a black man relative to what a white man gave, so much hate. And so it was interesting. It's not about whether he was black or white. It was just showing that it doesn't matter what color you are. You are going to be who you are. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. Yep. Yeah, there's black people that hate and there's white people that hate. That has no relevance to the conversation. And so, and so the interesting part is when people say that I'm, because I have a unique perspective of being more of like conservative mindset. It's interesting that people call me racist because they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Yeah. Like my little brother and sister are black. You know what I mean? Like, and so they call me almost every day. And so for you to call me racist, matter of fact, if Javi would know, I dated a black girl for like 6 years. Yep. Okay, and so for somebody to tell me that I'm racist, you're ignorant.
I thought she was Puerto Rican, but just dark. But
it's so her mom was Puerto Rican. And her dad was black.
Okay, got you.
You can never know.
You got the best of both worlds, though. So you were just mixing up Spanish and black. You like, yo, how come you racist? I'm like both cultures. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I was young. I was young back then too. I didn't really know what I wanted. Plus, I dogged that whole relationship to death. Honestly, she's not a bad person. It's just that I was just a dog. Right. I actually got another girl pregnant while we was dating. Wow. Yeah. So I was just an absolute savage. So when Javi tells you I was a savage to everybody. But it was all from the pain that I had from a child.
Exactly. That's what I was about to
say. Hurt people, and. When you're in that situation, man, it's just when you don't have, Nate's particular case, when you don't have no one looking out for you, no safety net, you're gonna do those crimes and crazy stuff. And guess what? It's either you get me or I get you.
100%.
And 100%. That's just what it's gonna be. And you're gonna choose yourself over the next man every time.
Every time.
You know what I mean? Every time. So that's.
But no, let me say this though before we move on. Yeah. Javi showed me love. Javi showed me a lot of love. When me and Javi started clicking. And he started realizing who I was even after, because I had got arrested for some very serious stuff. Wow. And Javi was one of the only people in the whole city. And in Haines City, and I'm going to say it for what it is, in Haines City, they call it on your dick. And what that means is like you hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like you're hurting. And so in Haines City, that's the Haines City narrative for y'all. Right. But Javi held me down. I remember Javi threw some clothes that he had on back. And just kind of let me get him, even though I didn't really pay him for him. He just kind of let it slide. I still remember that to like the back of my hand. And he was like, man, you just go ahead and take this and go ahead and hustle this. I was on pre-trial release. And, and the reality is that I had to I had to look at people around me and go, man, who's really helping me eat? Who's really showing me love? Javi was one of the only ones showing me love back then. So that's why I'm still here to this day. That's why I consider Javi to be like family to me, even though I know we're going to get into some stuff that might be a little controversial coming up soon when it comes to business. But, Javi's like family to me for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And, and I know it was hard for Nate because, there's little things I noticed with him. Because we used to, like we said, we used to play Madden, hang out and all that stuff. And I knew it hurt him. It was hard for him to be nice to people because I was like, hey, bro, can you teach me how to throw a lob pass? Because at the time when I just started playing Madden, I would just do rocket pass. Yeah. Rocket pass. I used to play against him. And then I was like, bro, can you just teach me how to do the,
show me how to do the.
Bro, and he showed me, but, it bothered him. Bitch.
I'm going to show you this one time. You better not forget it.
That's what he told me. He specifically said, listen, bro, if I find out you taught Eric or any of these guys and shit, I ain't teaching no more.
It's my money maker move.
So, I seen that, and then, and that's just my nature, man. Like, when I get to know people, it's just, but that's another thing, man. Damn. It's just, you got to bet. I always, on the other hand, I never lived the best life, but I always got a shot. Someone always was there to, maybe look out or be there for me. So, as a human, the only thing you can do is help someone.
Yeah. Right. Oh, for sure. And one more thing. The reason I'm drinking a Heineken right now is because back in the day when I was going through pretrial release and going through this whole ordeal that I was doing, and by the way, people can say what they want to say, but the reality is that who I am today and the person that I was 11 years ago, 12 years ago is a completely different person. Keep in mind, I'm 31 years old. But I used to hang out with Javi, and I would hang out here Underground Fashion when he had the fashion store. And keep in mind, Javi was like 16 years old with that store.
Damn.
So Javi was not no grown man. He was still a kid.
Yeah.
His mom was signing all the papers for him because he wasn't old enough to sign a lease, and he was busting and grinding. Didn't even, we was at it early, and Javi was a motivation to a lot of people that was our age, showing what we can do. Damn. And so
right, I see you.
So let me tell you though, I used to get Heineken, and I remember Javi showed so much love to me. We had a barbershop. Javi had this idea where he was, T the barber. Right. So T the barber was in there with his pops. They had moved from right over here where the center is now. That's just the city center is now. It was a barbershop there, okay. And they moved over into his barbershop, and they gave him cheaper rent. And Javi was smart for that. And so, don't get me wrong, it was a little hole in the ground. But people still came, and the way that it was we played Madden, and I would have a Heineken, and they had this dude. What was the dude's name? They used to come in, that he was like come in and causing a fit. He was always drunk all the time.
Oh, Ross?
I don't remember.
He was like always drunk, skinny dude.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so he was friends with the barbers, and I remember he would come in with drinks, and Javi would be like, "Yo, get out of here with the drinks," and they used to always look at me and go, "Well, what about Nate?" And Javi never told him. He never told him nothing. He just like, yo, this is what it's gonna be. Yeah. It doesn't matter if Nate's drinking. It's because I say he can drink. That's why. Yeah. Like, tell him to get up out of here. Yeah. And so, but they're just little things like that showed me that he looked at me different than he showed me more love than everybody else. So, right. Yeah, that I'll never forget that.
Small things matter.
It really does.
Definitely.
I tried to.
But by the way, the reason I'm drinking this Heineken right now is because I'm going back in time. Yeah. It's a perfect time to sit here and drink a Heineken.
No, for sure. It's been a while since I drank one, and then I'm really down to drink another one.
Same here.
But anyway, so
let's grab some real quick.
Okay,
hey, do that.
Well, let's get more into you, Nate. So what was your turnaround like when you knew things weren't going right? When you knew things weren't going right, and you just felt like, yo, I'm not going down the road I don't like. What events happened? What made you turn that around?
For me, it was the armed robbery charge.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the armed robbery charge. When I got that, and that was a life turner for me because I had no bond. I was looking at 30 years minimum. I mean, that was maximum sentence, but I had numerous charges that could have put me over.
Years, man.
That was minimum mandatory 10 years at a time. Javi knows all about the situation. He knows all about it. He was. I'm not gonna say he was involved, but I'm just saying that he knows about it.
Right.
And so that situation, being in jail for 3 weeks, and not having no bond for that time period was very difficult for me. Luckily, I had a few people in my life that pushed very hard. My brother, the girl that I was dating at that time, and my mom pushed my stepdad at the time because my mom had moved away and I was homeless when I was 17. Damn. My mom moved away and she got married to a guy who actually had a couple dollars, and he actually bonded me out. It was a $35,000 bond, I think, and he put up the $3,500 to get me out. And they told me, I was like, look, I'm gonna get you out, but the lawyer and all that's on you. So I dug into my discovery, which was like stupid long, like really long.
Right.
And I had a public defender the whole way. I couldn't afford a lawyer. I didn't even have a job. I couldn't get a job. They looked at me and they were like, man, you're a thug. You ain't get no job. And by the way, keep in mind, back then it was 2009. We just hit a financial crisis. We're looking at almost like depression.
Right.
You couldn't get a job at McDonald's.
Anywhere.
And so that was when I really made the change. I kept remembering my daughter would come and visit me. And at the time, my daughter's mother was still very, really wanted to recreate that relationship that we never had in the first place. And she wanted to make that renewed. But my point being is that that was the time for me. Yeah, and then once we beat the charges.
So you feel like it was the perfect time for that impact in your life to change you to be the person you are
without
now.
A question. And then so what happened was, and by the way, when I was arrested with 3 black co-defendants, and we all beat the charge.
What?
All of us beat it.
Yo.
We're talking about where we come from and how we were brought up. It was like everybody just keep that. Everybody just hey, what it is what it is. But if we're gonna do, the reality is that things are different now. But I'm just saying, back then we lived by it. It wasn't no Tekashi stuff going on. You know what I mean? We lived by it, and it was like, hey, I don't care what they're bringing to the table. We live by that, and I can't speak for nobody else. But I'm telling you, for me, it was, hey, this is how we're gonna do it. And if we go out, then we go out. But the reality is that everybody has done things that they don't. But I'm just talking about me in particular. And so when that happened, I beat the charge. I moved to Pennsylvania with my mom. Right. My stepdad taught me a lot at the time. He was a business owner. He owned a trucking company, and so he taught me a lot about business. And I was always a really smart person. There was no part. Nobody questioned that. There was nobody questioned, hey, was Nate smart? It was only a matter of you got to watch out because he's so smart. You know what I mean? Because he'll get you. And so I think Javi don't want to admit it, but I probably had a lot to do with why he's kind of moved in the progression he's moved in a lot of times, because I guarantee you it's helped him, my hustle game, to watch out for certain types of people back then, because it's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to really make sure this is a whole different place now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, that's what it was. And then when I left Pennsylvania, I straightened up, and I changed my whole life around. I came back about a year and a half later with a bag, clothes, and $100. I played a little semi-pro football up north.
Nice.
Did a few things, met some new people, got in a new environment, changed up my whole vibe, came back, got me a little job selling security systems, and then I got a job selling cell phones. I hustled cell phones, and then I started my business selling cell phones.
Damn.
And then 9 years later, here we are.
No, for sure.
Man, that's how you tell a story, right?
And clear of what Nate was saying is, I definitely look at him, and because there's not a lot of people, unfortunately, and there's not a lot of people that are around that are successful. A lot of people that get successful, they dip. They just gone.
Oh, you ain't lying.
Well, so when I look at him, I say, okay, well, I don't watch his pockets, but I definitely try to say, okay, let me get better. Oh, okay, I heard you got better. That's cool. I'm happy. Let me get better. Let me get better. And I try to, it's a friendly competition, because, that's what we need to get better. Because guess what? When you comparing yourself, I got a couple buddies, they compare themselves like, yo, I got a car, I got a spot. That's what they're comparing to, so that's your limit. Me is like, nah, this dude, I don't care about money. First of all, I do business because it's just, when it comes to money, that is the tool that you use to rate how great of a businessman you are.
Right.
I personally don't, there's nothing that money can really do for me that makes me happy. It's just I have love for business. And so I definitely use Nate as a tool and an inspiration, because when I hear what he's doing, I'm like, all right, cool. We do it in a definitely different.
Vice versa.
He's more operational, and I'm more him. He's more like, I'll create a plan, which I think ultimately is if you want to have more free time, more this and that, is the way to do it, is his way. Because guess what? He'll come, he'll start it, make it happen. He don't necessarily have to be there.
Right.
It's just operational. Come, boom, boom. And his personality works with that, because like I said, his people will buy into what he's doing. Where what I do, it's more like, it's me. It's like, it's Mark. It's they fall in love with who we are, and they follow us. And then that's why little things that we do on the side work out, because it's like they're following. I notice these people are following what I'm doing. They feeling it. And
that's why you got to be cautious.
So it's interesting, because I always like to look at his side and say, okay, this is what I could do. This is what he's doing. This is what, you definitely got to know what you got to be good at. There's not one way to win. There's definitely multiple places to win.
Right.
And
exactly, I agree with that.
And so let's get into you starting your business, man. Like, when you were starting, like, how was your start? What were you doing? Were you scared? What did you almost back out? Like, because this is a thing a lot of people struggle with. They want to get into a business. They don't know how it is when you're going head first.
Yeah, so nobody knows better than you have. So quick story. Basically, when I started it, not so quick story, but basically when I started, long story short, me and the manager had a fallout. Mutual friend of ours, Eric. I'm just gonna call him out. Yeah. I'm just gonna call him out.
Right.
He got me fired from the job. I had I think my daughter was just born, or she was about to be born.
Oh, that's a bad time.
Super bad time, and he was very selfish for that. and I'm never gonna let him down for that. I'm gonna hold that till it is what it is.
That's still brought up in recent conversations.
I'm still gonna bring it up because you know what though. But there was so much motivation that came from him doing that, and the manager that was there that drove me through all those days where it was like I don't want to do this no more. And I always thought about, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that they know that I'm better than them every day. I want to make sure that they know that I'll destroy you in everything that you ever do. Don't ever disrespect me. And if you ever step on the same ground as me, just know I'll cut your throat. Woo! And that's how it was. And that's really real. And
sometimes you need that.
And still to this day, I feel that way.
Yeah.
Still to this day. And I hope they hear it. Yeah. So the manager's name was JT, and him and Eric was best friends, to say the least. There was a lot more to say than that, but I'm just going to leave it at that. They were just best friends. And so long story short, he rescheduled me, who was a longer tenured employee than anyone in the staff, who did better numbers than anyone on the staff, who taught Eric how to even sell in the first place, who got him the job there in the first place. Damn. And they changed my schedule for my family so that way he could work out with his boys. Hey, we're fighting now. We're mad. I'm mad now.
Yeah.
So long story short, he stole one of my 5-liners, which is a big deal in the cell phone game.
Yeah.
And that kind of just made the whole thing go south. And then I got canned, which rightfully so. I should have got canned. I would have canned myself if I happened. If one of my guys did that to me, I'd do the same thing. I said some stuff I shouldn't have said.
Right.
But I still feel to this day I wouldn't have changed it.
Yeah.
Because they deserve to hear it, and they know that I just know that they know that every day that I lay my head down that I'm eating good.
Yeah.
You know, in every way. And so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything you ever did for me. And thank you so much for helping me have that motivation to destroy everything. Yeah. And so there's a certain fire that burns. And the thing is, Javi, we got to find something to motivate us.
Yep.
And so for me, the motivating me is just when people hating, and you know they're like low key haters. You know, like I just know that I just want to destroy them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they are. I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm just saying that I'm not just saying that's what it is. And so, yeah, I started my business. I started in the back of a barbershop, 2 glass cases. Wow. And a $3,000 loan from a friend. And I had a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had a new baby. I remember people laughing at me. I remember everything. We started with Page Plus and Simple Mobile and Net 10. And I got pictures of where we started at in that barbershop. We literally were in the back corner of it with 2 glass cases. And Javi was one of my first vendors. Actually, Javi had some cases, some overstock. I think he was doing some wholesaling at the time. He just started, and he had some cases and stuff. He's like, "Hey man, I got some of this Chinese stuff. It's decent. I give it to you for $1 a piece." And I'm like, $1 a piece? I probably had like $700 to my name. Yeah. I'm like, man, bring that. I need all of that. That was love. You know what I mean? That was him showing me love. That was him supporting my business. That's what that was. Exactly. And so for the longest time, that's all I really had was the accessories that Javi had given me. Along with other stuff, but we're trying to fill cases at the time. It was empty, and so he came to the back of the barbershop. And by the way, it was the hooded barbershop, bro. I'm talking about they're doing cocaine in the back of the barbershop. I'm talking about
Hollywood.
All of it.
No, sorry.
All of it, bro. All of it. I remember I walked into the storage room one time. There was a pile of coke in there, and as soon as that happened, I was like, all right.
I know you dived in nose first.
I never done cocaine in my entire life.
Tony Montana over here. All right.
I've never done cocaine in my entire life. But. So I agree. So I never have. But my point is, that's where we started at, and that's kind of where it went. And then I made my first hire. Mike Torres, still a really good friend of mine to this day.
That was your first hire?
That was my first hire.
That's crazy. He actually worked at Sprint with us.
Yep.
Because I worked at the time I got when I got out of house.
And by the way, I got you the job there. Yeah, don't ever let Eric tell you he got a job there.
No, I know you did. And it was crazy, bro. I had to get a job, but nobody was hiring a felon at the time. And I'm on house arrest, so I could only leave to go to work, come back. I told employers that, and they're like, we're not hiring you.
Yeah, it's so restricted.
So thank God for that.
That's
good. That's how they sound, though.
Yeah, so yeah, and then Javi came on, but Javi came on like right towards the end when I got fired. Like he was literally, maybe he was there for like 2 weeks, maybe a week.
I worked with Nate like maybe twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he was just got there. And so we was gonna work with him. I know Javi was gonna be a savage, so like I was excited about working with him. You know what I mean? And so when that whole thing went down, it was just like, you know what, man, I'm just trying to do my own thing anyways, you know. Mm-hmm. And so we got my first hire. He enabled me to kind of hustle on the streets. Back then, Craigslist was hot, so we got on Craigslist and we would just put on stuff on there like, you know, buy, sell ads on Craigslist about, you know, selling phones and buying phones. And then we kind of hustled. You know, back in the day, we would put ads up and people would be like, oh, you're a store? Okay, cool. Where are you located? And we'd give them the address, and we were in the back of the barbershop. We didn't have no sign, no nothing. Yeah. And so we were in the back of the barbershop. We'd give them the address, and they would pull up and they'd be like, listen, if you can't find it, just call me. So they would call us. We had this down to a science. We would be watching through the front window, and they'd call us, and they'd be like, oh, I think I'm at a barber shop right now. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's where we're at. Come on in. And they would just pull off.
Yeah.
Like because we were like in the hood. Wow. You know, at the time it was way more hood than it is now because they done redid the building and stuff like that. But back then it was like real deal. Yeah. Anyways, we moved into the space that we're in now in Lakeland. We got 2,000 square feet for really cheap. I was a real estate agent. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I actually went into real estate. By the time I got fired from Sprint, I went into real estate for a brief time. It taught me a lot about business. It's invaluable about the business lessons I learned from those people. Wow. One of the best 6 months, 8 months I ever spent in business was learning from real estate and learning the basic fundamentals of business from them. And that just took off with it. Once I started understanding rich man, poor man, stuff like that, very basic fundamentals of business, the sky was the limit. And that's the thing we need to start teaching people is understanding. And that's what I do with my team. I teach them about business. I teach them about the fundamentals of business. My children, which is so important to teach down to your kids. And that's why people are broke, is because they're not taught these basic fundamentals. But back to my story, we have to, we get to the store, we open up a store in the mall, we buy another store on 60, we get rid of that one, we open up Gainesville, we built that one up. We bought another store out in Chiefland. We sold. We closed the mall. We sold Chiefland. We sold Gainesville. We opened up Winter Haven. We opened up Orlando East Colonial, Orlando Lee Road.
Hustling.
We opened up Winter Haven. If I said Winter Haven yet, right now we opened up Clearwater. We just closed it, and we're gonna relocate it, and that leads me into my spot. We're about to open up one right down the street from y'all boys. But you know,
which we'll get into that. You know.
Yeah. So you know, but
actually next.
So anyways, that's kind of the story, man. That's how it worked. But, you know, it's not easy. I gained like 60 pounds during that time period. You know, I'm working on that now, trying to get it down, trying to come into a healthy weight. You know, I've always been a big dude. Even when I met my wife, when I was really, really in shape, I was like 235. You know, so 235 is a really good weight for me. Like, really good weight for me. And I was 22, I think. And so, having said that, it ain't been easy. It's been a ride, that's for sure. But I think you know, people like Javi, they help you stay motivated. They come out here hustling. We've seen a lot of people fall off the wayside, man. So we've been in business, that's for sure. I just stopped by the store today that I was like, I didn't know they was closed. I was went to see them, and they're in South Lakeland. And I go to open the door, and I look inside, and there's nothing but storage stuff in there. I'm like, what is going on? Everybody closing the doors.
So, that's a real thing, man. When you get into business, it's not easy. Don't think it's sometimes it can be, but man, if you're not ready to sweat, if you're not ready to cry, there's been times where I'm crying. Yeah. You know, my relationship's at stake, everything's at stake. I'm making these decisions, and I'm talking about beginning decisions where it's like, damn, my family's not getting all of me because I'm giving some of it to this.
Right.
So just make sure when you jump in, you're ready to jump in, and you have your vision right, because your family's counting on it, your wife, your mom. Everybody around you is depending on you to do the right thing.
You the support.
You do that, you know, and that's definitely what I know Nate is to his family. I know that's what I am to mine. And now we're gonna get into it. So like I said, I would look at this dude like I would say close to like a brother, but we live separate lives. We're not around each other all the time. But when I do click with this dude, it's authentic. It's original.
It's the boss.
I got that authentic history.
Yeah, like you know how I tell you about E. You know, he was there. I look at him in that same field.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now this is where this comes. This is where the difference between me and this man is. Not knocking him, nothing. This is something that should be actually applauded, because there's sometimes in life you gotta make tough decisions, and it's based on business, and you can't base it on personal.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I don't pay his bills. His vision is already set. And, you know, so basically what the issue is, it's not even an issue. It's just something that came up. We were working on other things outside of business together, which when I heard of this, it kind of got me shocked because I didn't know what to do. So then I hear, this is how it first came out, is we're having the conversation. And I'm like, bro, I would never go to Lakeland because, you know, there's too much space out here. blah blah blah. You know, like it's not in my thing. I know, you know. And then he tries to tell me, hey, well, I'm working with this guy and he wants to open up Haines City and blah 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 blah. So I'm a little bit upset because I'm like, well, you could have talked to me. And then, anyways.
I did. I told you right now.
But then I understand the business aspect. In my mind, I'm like, okay, well, if it's financially makes sense, it makes sense. The only thing is the way it was worded, I kind of was like, hold up. It's either you are or you're not. You know what I mean? Right. And then that's where it becomes, because I knew it was a sensitive thing. I could feel it. Like, he was kind of like, well, I don't want him to feel like I'm trying to attack him. And it's just the numbers, maybe the logistics, whatever was there. This is where I'm going. You know what I mean? And, you know, like, can I say it affected some stuff? It definitely did, because I don't think he's trying to attack me directly, but it's when you're close, like a mile away from me, it kind of is, like, when you try not to look at it, it's like still looks like that.
Right,
and,
right.
So then from there, you know, I just had to be a little bit more careful. I wasn't as friendly as maybe I wanted to be, because not that I think he attacked me, it's just now when the person enters your space, you got to be careful, because now he is a serious player in the game. You get caught slipping, you could get ate up.
It's competition now.
And that's the thing, you know, and it's nothing like, you know, it's no personal problems, because in my mind, deep down, I know to him it was business, it's not personal. If it was personal, it probably would have went a different way for him. But whatever, however the dice rolls, that's what happened. And, you know, I don't know, Nate, what
I mean,
what you think? Like, anyways, a lot of people that I spoke to, because I talked to people about that, because it kind of not scared me, but it had me like, what should I think about this?
Concerned, at least.
Caught you off guard, basically.
Yeah, like what should I think about this? And definitely people around me was like, yo, nah, that's a no-go. But deep down in my mind, I'm like, well, you know,
just doing what he's trying to do.
If it's a money move, it's a money move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not an attack.
So I'm going to tell you what it is. So basically, there's a guy approached me that I know very well. Actually, was one of my high school coaches, and he hit me up and was like, "Look, I want to do something." His boss is very successful, and they're like partners basically in the business, and they've been killing it. And he hit me up and he was like, "Look, I want to do something with you. I want to open up a cell phone store. I'm tired of being in the heat." And I'm like, "Okay, you know, let's do it." So we started looking at Kissimmee and Point Santa and all these other places. And he's like, "Man, you know, I really want to be in Haines City." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, we can go to Davenport." And he's like, "Oh, no. I want to be in Haines City." And I'm like, "I found a bunch of places in Haines City." He lives here in Haines City. And I'm like, nah, you know, I got a friend of mine, you know, he's in Haines City. I prefer that we just kind of go to Davenport, but the opportunity is so good for me that I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, if you're stuck on Haines City, then we're going to go to Haines City, but I would prefer that we try other places first. So we started beating around the map, started looking at other places, and it kept coming right back to Haines City and right back to Haines City and right back to Haines City. And I'm like, man, damn, bro, like, you know, but then I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, when my pocket's about to look fatter from opening this location, and it's not even about, I'm talking about the instant gratification that I'm getting from this whole deal, not talking about no long-term stuff. I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm here for business. This is what I got to do. I talked to Javi about like literally the same day almost on a coincidental type note where I was going to reach out to him regardless and just told him, hey, you know, this is what I'm going to do. It was very early in the scenario. We were just looking at location, so it wasn't a set thing. Right. Now we're about to sign a lease, and we're going to be started here in the next couple of months. But the reality is that I think it's just going to make him better. It's going to make me better because it's like he's going to have real competition for the first time since he's been in business. And it's not a matter of me saying, hey, I'm better than him. Honestly, we have two different demographics completely. And so that's why I try to explain to him is that although they're naturally, you're going to lose some business to any competitor that comes in, whether that be one phone a month or whatever, you're going to lose business. And so I get it. At the same time, you know, it's going to make us better because we're going to be like, yo, we got a real competitor here. I got one competitor that I deal with.
Real stories, real thunders.
I got one competitor I deal with in Lakeland, and and he's always him and his buddy, and they're always trying to scheme on me. Like their whole business model is just revolved around what I do, and it's not even on some ego stuff. It's like come out their mouth. You know, this is what they told me, and so Now I got one relocating, and they keep trying to relocate as close as they keep relocating in my proximity. And because I'm a Total Wireless exclusive brand, they can't relocate too close, and they keep doing it, and they keep getting shut down. And so it's like, why you keep trying to step on my toes? And I understand it's like the same thing I'm doing in the hobby, but honestly, bro, it really didn't have nothing to do with that. It really was like I had to figure out, like, is it business, where do I weigh out the business and personal? Where do I look at this guy and tell him we expelled all the options, we looked in Davenport, we looked in Kissimmee, nothing was nearly as good, and he's right here. It's the most opportunity for him to be successful is right here in Haines City. And it was like, you know what, bro, we just got to pull the trigger on it. We just got to come over here and just do it. It was a great opportunity as far as location. I'm sure you guys know the location now because Mark came over here running his mouth of sausage. And so I know Sausage done told y'all about it. And
Sausage was actually the first one to tell us because that's when actually the whole story took a toll because it was more like, all right, did this, and then the story kind of changed when Sausage came like, oh, they're partners, they're this, they're that. I was like, it's cool because, at the end of the day, it's like when you, regardless of what's going on right here, when you compete and you doing your thing, you cannot worry about the next man.
Agreed.
You have to be better.
Yeah.
You have to, because guess what? Water is going to sink to its own level. So if you ain't shit, it doesn't matter what comes along, you still ain't shit.
Yo, speak that.
And that's why, a lot of people around me are like, yo, don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them for that. And me, I'm like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I know what my mission is. I know what I'm on. And those type of things just don't faze me. Does it affect a little bit? Maybe, but the way I work, not that his standard is higher or lower than mine, but I run a certain way, you know what I mean? And I cannot expect the next man to run that way as well.
No. But hold on. Let me say this, though. I made it very clear when I talked to Javi about it that I tried everything possible to not be in his backyard because I have no interest in Haines City whatsoever because this is my old stomping grounds and I don't really want to be over here, to be honest with you. And so, but he was so dead set that he had to be here in Haines City. There was no way I could talk him out of it. It was literally like it was so, and again, the opportunity was so good for me. It was like, man, I got to take it. But my point is that, I would feel a type of way if he did the same thing to me. And so I can understand where the hard feelings, there's a little bit of something there. So I can't even hate and I ain't even mad. All I can say is that at least I was fully transparent. At least I came out and open and told you what it was from the very beginning and told you, hey, and not to mention, before we even had the conversation, I even talked to you about some things that I noticed that I feel like I could throw you a little something that I feel like could help you in your game, just showing love. And I think the thing is that one thing that people don't understand is that I'm not even really in the cell phone game 100% anymore. Like I don't even really run the businesses like that. I'm very kind of separated. We're opening this accounting firm now. We have the streaming product that what I'm dealing with, and now we're partnering with Dish TV on the stuff right now, and we're opening up some home entertainment businesses, and so I'm not even really focused on.
You're making so many moves that you're not even focused on what the original plan was. At least that was he was thinking.
Well, there's definitely not hard feelings. It just, like I said, it got me a little shook. But at the end of the day, when you're growing, you got your own stuff going. Right. Those things you have to set aside. You know what I mean? It's just. You can't function that way because if you're always worrying about the next man, next thing, this and that, you're never gonna grow. And
you're too grown for this.
Nah, like I said, I still look at this dude like family. Nothing's really changed. Like I said, it was just a moment where I was kind of like, okay, this is like, I don't know, like, am I uncomfortable? Am I what?
How am I supposed to feel right now?
Like I don't know what I'm supposed to feel.
He's taking the food off my plate.
But I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it more like. Like this is new ground for me. Like,
well, at least we know ain't nobody else gonna come in Haines City.
Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't really bother me because I know like he has some stuff going on. I know we definitely working on creating our own other brands and a lot of stuff we got going. So it's nothing but love. And you know what? If someone else is gonna eat around me, I'd rather be my people.
I mean, you got Boost up here, you got Metro up here, you got some other stores up here that been here for a long time. And in my opinion, that's who I'm trying to attack. Like I'm going after I'm eating their lunch. I'm not trying to eat your lunch, bro. I mean, your model is a little bit different than my model, anyways. And so, I feel like you're gonna eat regardless. It don't really matter.
No, for sure. And so, anyways, to get past this little section right here, we're gonna wrap it up. But what's next for you, and where can people find you?
But I don't want you to find me because I don't.
Or if you don't want to find, where can they find your stuff? Your next
social media. I guess,
yeah. You can. At the end of the day, I'm super low key, man. Like, it's hard for me now. I'm getting involved in politics, in local politics now, and I feel like I have so much to give to politics and to people. I feel like me and Javi talk about this all the time. When it's organic and it's real and it's nothing but love, like it's really love and it really comes from the heart and from the soul, I feel like that people just want to be around you. And that's what I notice about Javi. People just want to be around him. And it's very similar in that way with me. And it makes me sleep good at night to know that people want to be around me. It makes me feel good to know that what I'm bringing to the table is value for other people.
Straight
you know
up.
what I mean?
Straight
And so especially to know where I came from and tell a little bit of the story tonight. I think that's something that we're missing in politics. We don't really have people who are fully transparent. I mean, Trump is transparent, obviously, a little bit too transparent sometimes, if there's such a thing. But
borderline retarded. All right.
Sure thing. But my point is
a little
that,
bit of both.
And look, the reality is, I don't want to get into too much of that. But the thing is that for me, I feel like if we had more people like Javi in politics and me like politics who understood the streets, really understand the streets, but can also relate to the people in the room. When I'm talking about the elderly people that are religious, that are they're in their ways and they ain't really coming off of that. That's one of the things that I really want to focus on. I want to try to help to bridge the gap between the future generation, millennials, all of us who are more, I guess accepting and progressive.
It is what it is,
in a way.
Said.
We're trying to move forward now. My main focus is economics and social policies. You know what I mean? And I know a whole lot of older people are focused on religion and other things. But what's next for me is I'm gonna continue to just stay out the way for the most part. As far as like I really don't want to be too loud on social media right now. You'll see me on social media when I'm popping up on your social feed when we get them social ads. I'm trying to run for office. But right now, my main goal is I'm helping Chris Wright with his campaign on District 9, which is your district here.
Nice.
We're trying to take out Darren Soto, which is a Democrat, which I don't know if you're a Democrat or Republican, but I didn't ask. And we're trying to take Darren Soto out because we're trying to make some more conservative policies. I'm trying to focus more on business people. I think if you're a business person, that there's no question in your mind that you should be a Republican right now. Social communist ideologies from the Democratic Party is very, very concerning to me. I'm worried about the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders of the world. Yep. I'm worried about what they're doing to the country, and I'm not talking about racism or any other stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about social, economic policies, and that ain't got nothing to do with racism. So I'm not getting into the racist stuff. That's a whole nother conversation. Right, but the reality is that right now, if you're talking about business owners, you're talking about growth, capitalism, there's no question in my mind Republicans are the only way to go, and it's not even close. And so that's why I recommend, and although this is not a political, and Javi asked me, so I'm going to tell him, I'd vote for Trump in 2022 or 2020 and on beyond. And then if we go from 2024, we'll see. But at least my thing about Trump is, what has he done that you didn't expect him to do? And the people that voted for him, who people that voted for him, who are the ones that won't vote for him again?
He's got a point. I can't vote for Biden. That's just
this is my problem, man. I feel like a lot of things have been done where it can make things a lot better for us, for sure. But one thing is, you're a successful person. You win in life. How you not gonna take care of the people that are not? And it's like, say our people, my mom goes around. She's born in America. She goes around thinking she gonna get deported. This morning she had to go renew her license. Yeah. And she driving shook and stuff. It was just expired.
That's probably some type of situation that don't have anything to do with the government.
It doesn't. But the thing is that when you got your world leader and he makes you feel like, yo, deep down, this man don't like my people. That's the whole thing. Is like, if he's a smart guy. Listen, if you don't like these type of people, don't make it obvious. Just say what you got to say. But it's when you feel like that, it's like, yo, when you're riding with someone that doesn't care about you, it's like,
I disagree.
How far could I ride with this person?
I disagree. And here's what I say. Look at what he's done for those groups. Look at the unemployment rates. Look at the wealth gaps. Look at how much their average salaries have gone up. Their average incomes have gone up. I'm talking about minority groups, including Hispanics. And so when you talk about this, bro, you got to come with the facts. You can't be talking about how you feel. CNN tells you how you're supposed to feel.
The thing is that's
the
go
thing.
by how you're supposed to
Media.
feel. And guess what? I got family with mental illnesses and stuff. The government can't help them. The government hasn't helped us.
So it's like that's difficult. That's difficult.
And then that's the thing.
I
You
have
cannot
history of that in my own family.
You can't blame one person, but it doesn't make you feel like me. I'm a feel type of person. You can say policies all you want, but guess what? When you wake up in the morning feeling like shit, you're gonna do what? Ain't shit. You're not gonna be. But guess what? At least when, not to compare Barack Obama with so forth, but at least you felt like, man, there was hope. There was pride. And like I said, I'm not gonna argue about this guy, because at the end of the day, my pockets are better than they ever been. But I just feel like as society, I don't feel like we are where we're supposed to be.
I don't think.
I feel like we have gone back. Same thing with global issues. Like, imagine how much more money we could have if those relationships with China wasn't fucked up. If customs to get stuff in didn't cost 3x times more.
I got
how much
for
more
China,
money?
but damn, you can't trust them 100% though.
Yeah, but China. Let me tell you about China. They let us make money. Because guess what?
They making all the money though.
They make all the money, but they let us make a lot of money.
Yeah, but
when you try to work with an American company, for example, I tried to do a deal with OtterBox. I'll never forget this. When we're gonna, I'm gonna let Nate finish off the thing.
All right, go ahead.
But I tried to do a deal with OtterBox. OtterBox like, oh, we'll give it to you wholesale $35. Yeah, well, online they're $30. He's like, yeah, but they can buy from you retail. You can sell it for $60, but online they're $30.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I know, but that's because we're selling online. Online's cheaper. You understand? You have a brick and mortar store. Why would I pay $35 if I could go online and pay $30? China, they say, yo, this is the price. Oof, there's a lot of money there. They don't care. They get it done. American companies, big companies, they own this proprietary stuff. And I understand, corporations, they only got to worry about themselves. But it's like, damn, you don't let us make no money?
So you only care about... So let me ask you this question. You're talking about China and how they're able to strategically beat us and whatnot and be more competitive in a lot of things. You only care about American people? Because you're talking about China. China uses... The reason why they're able to beat us is because they have... sweatshops and slave trades, and they have 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds working in those factories.
Yeah, but guess what?
So if you care about
I'm not saying I don't care about those people, but those are their situations.
What they're people just like us.
They're people just like us, but our president can't control what they do over there.
100% he can. He's doing it right now.
The thing is, you hurting what we doing here, because guess what? They rocking still. They rocking.
So you're okay with 7-year-olds working in factories?
I'm not okay with that. But guess what? My competition is doing that.
So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't just be like, I only care about Americans. But here we go. China has to help us.
I feel like as a world we can, but we less could affect that. Our president, we talking about president. I know
he's only benefited Chinese people, in my opinion, because he's taken and he's held China accountable for what they were doing to us before. Obama was one of the weakest when it comes to. And by the way, I just want to tell you, I personally like Obama. And I'm now a registered Republican. I'll come out and say that.
I'm registered Republican as well.
And so I'm gonna tell you,
see what the other side was doing.
I'm gonna tell you though, just like that Romney was a joke. I didn't like McCain, and so my option was the best option on the table. Was Obama.
And I like Trump.
But hold on. Let me tell you. I want to tell you, this is China. China, you have to be careful with China, bro, because China is a power that can threaten our power, and because they have a relationship with Russia. And they have geographically located Cuba right next to us, bro. Yo, that's not a joke. That's you're playing with fire when you're talking about China. China's got TikTok now. Why do you think this whole thing's happening with TikTok? You think Trump just does that for fun? That's not public. That's not. The one thing I love about Trump is it's not popular for him to take away TikTok, but he does it because it's what's best for the people. Because it's like, yo, if I don't take away TikTok, they're gonna continue to gain access to all of our personal files, all of our pictures, everything that we do every day. They're gonna be watching what we do on the internet. They're gonna gain information from us, and then they can strategically be using that against us in economic policies, militarily, all kind of different ways.
They're smart.
100%. And so my point is that Trump does what's right in his eyes. And I cannot always say that about other politicians. And that's why I say Trump should go for another 4 years, because you have CNN against you, you got ABC against you, you got MSNBC against you, you got all these different brands against you, and Fox is half-ass against him right now.
That's what I agree with him, though. If you're not doing something right, you wouldn't have all these people who try to attack you.
100%. 100%. Because if you want a president that's not a politician, you got Trump. If you want a politician who's going to play the game and just play the field, then you can go with anybody else, because there's a bunch of them. And so that's why I decided to get into politics. Javi helped me try to get into politics because I saw Javi with a tattoo on his neck, and he's at the REC convention talking about he's want to run for politics. And I'm like, Javi got a tattoo on his neck? I ain't got no tattoos on my neck. Yeah. You know, Javi got arrested for this? Well, I didn't get arrested. I got arrested for that, but I beat mine. Yeah. You know, so I'm like, man, I got a chance. Yeah. So he gave me the motivation to want to get involved in politics, and I think one of the things that I've decided to do is I ain't gonna run from it. When I get involved in politics, I'm gonna tell you what it was. And if you don't want me to, if you don't want me for me, you want me for somebody else or something else, then you want a different guy. You want one of them phonies. You want one of them ones who's gonna tell you what you want to hear. That's not what I'm gonna do. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna go in there and do what's right, and do what's right for the people, no matter what the situation is. And I think that's the thing is I don't care about the money anymore. Like Javi's been in my house. My house is very nice, and my life is very nice. My wife is very nice. I promise you. And my family is very good. I have nice vehicles. I got whatever I want. You know, I can buy it right now. You know, 6 figures in the account at all times. And so when it comes at 31 years old, who's got that? Who's got that? Who do you know that's got that at 31 years old, Javi? Besides me and you, not in this area. You know, not eating like that.
I don't know. I never really thought about that.
My point though is that we have to collectively look at the people around us and going, it's not about what I'm doing, what I've done. It's about a track record going, hey, this is success. I've done it on my own through these bad, really, really bad circumstances. We cannot make excuses on how we're going to move forward. Mm-hmm. And that's why when we start talking about politics, we start talking about Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, it's concerning to me how we're going to go into a victim mentality when I am a victim. I'm a victim of my circumstances that is, I guarantee you, as bad, if not worse, than most minorities. And I know I'm not black-skinned, but Javi will tell you, I used to talk the most thuggish white dude you ever seen in your life. And that's almost worse than being like a black person. It's true. Because they're expected to be like that. Yep. And whereas with a white dude, it's like, what is going on with this guy? You know what I'm saying? It's like, this guy needs to pull his pants up and put his belt tighter. You know?
What's wrong with this man?
Exactly. But my point is that moving forward though, Javi, that's what's next for me, man. I'm going to get in politics. Business is going to continue to do what it does. You know, my family, hopefully, you know, I'm just hoping for my health to continue to be good. That's one of the things that I think that we all, you know, hope that goes well for us is our health. As long as my health continues to be good, because you just never know what tomorrow's going to bring, we're going to keep kicking, man. We're going to keep doing what we're doing and keep moving forward and keep pushing the envelope, and we're going to keep bringing the people on my team higher and better. And I'm gonna do what J. Cole said. I'm gonna let all my team eat just like me. Man, and so, and I think if you're willing to do that, like Javi, I know Javi's doing the same thing. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here at 9:30 at night, spending time with Javi. And I reached out to Javi about being on here because I want to contribute. I know my story is unique. I know people would like to hear it. And if I can contribute to Javi in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna do that. And most of these conversations I would never have an open forum, but it's like in hopes that if it gets any traction with this conversation, that it will help him and what he's trying to accomplish here with his story, because I know it's organic and real, which is very rare in today's day and age.
Well said, Nate. That's how you do it.
There's definitely a lot for people to take out of this. I hope that you received that people just like you can succeed, and you just got to make it happen. And for everybody, it's different. There's no 2 ways to win. And you know, well, what about you, Mark? Any finishing thoughts?
I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm just super motivated.
Because listen, Mark,
just listening to everybody's story right now.
Mark got impressive.
I just want to know how you guys did this. Like, you guys are killing it in the game, both of you guys.
Listen, Mark has impressive story himself.
I'm like, wait a minute, hot damn. Yeah. What am I doing wrong?
There's a lot of people listening.
I'm 37 years old, damn it. I'm trying to retire by 40. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people listening.
But listen, next episode we'll definitely get into more Mark, because his story is even more impressive. This dude was in ESC for 4 years.
Oh my God!
Let me tell you something. And he got out of it.
No,
the teacher said, "Nah, man, you could color in the lines really good. You're not supposed to be here."
This boy crazy.
So, hey, put me in, coach. But hey, man,
1 year maybe. But
yeah, it was 1 year and 1 year and 8 later.
They're like, bro, man, you finishing your work good. You know, you're doing good.
So,
why you?
But basically, man, we want everybody to win, and everybody's gonna win.
Definitely,
and
bro.
we just got to keep on moving. And man, keep it positive, and it's not always gonna look good, man.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Nate for stopping by. You know, this was you know, when he first asked me, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, yo, I don't know if I'm fucking with him.
Still feeling salty about the Haines City.
I'm not salty, but I was like,
I'm gonna come visit some more often. That's all you gotta know. I'm gonna come visit. I'm gonna be out here with flyers in your front door.
Nah, man. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If they do that, I'm gonna buy that billboard truck and I'm gonna be parking that motherfucker right at his shit. And we could do that.
I'm gonna be over here with Joe.
Yeah, competitive.
Yeah. Hey, Joe gonna get it. He gonna get it 2 times.
It's gonna be interesting, guys.
Nah, but you know, and you know, we'll get into more of what we're doing, man. And we're moving into our new store pretty soon, and that'll be exciting. And definitely one thing that nobody's gonna be able to compete with is we got more cases than anybody in the world. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say. World. You know, everything else, but we gonna kill it there. Yeah. But definitely, man, look at Nate and understand that this guy didn't get anything given to him. He couldn't play the white card out. Even when he tries to play that card out with me, I don't fuck with it. You know, I'm like, yo, listen, bro, you're not gonna tell me this shit. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and definitely leave us some input. You know, and next episode, you know, not to keep talking about next episode, but we're gonna kick somebody out the crew out, so we're gonna be able to vote.
Somebody's gotta go.
This guy's dying to kick somebody out. I don't know.
Either Junie Pooney, Mark the Tech, or you know, we gotta see what happens.
It can't be preaching a pocket.
Nah, I'm just kidding, man. You know, we all
that would be a racist thing to do. Don't play.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your evening. I know this was a long episode, but it was definitely a good one.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And there's something you can take from this, and out of all of our episodes,
definitely good.
This is the one you really need to watch.
Definitely.
And we love you, and bye.
Appreciate you, man.